In May of 2021, Gary Vaynerchuck launched the NFT project VeeFriends. I'm Darby Bailey, and I'm a Hangout Hawk. In our first year, we've begun meeting in what we call a Flawk, and we're documenting our conversations as we discuss all things Web3, NFT, business, and EQ. I invite you to listen in, be your own Hawk to our Hawk Flawks, and we'd love to know what resonates. Let us know what part you liked best in this video or audio. Hi, guys.
Darby, what's going on?
I'm just getting my Hawk Party background. It looks good.
Yeah, sounds good. Hey, question for you, because I have a buddy that's going to be joining our hot call at 2 o'clock. He wanted to see a couple of the recordings from the last session so you can kind of get the vibe. Do you know where those are at?
So if you have access to that Google site that I built, I do have two of the recordings in there.
Where would I find that at?
Let me get that address really quick, because you can also get them in Discord. They're in the,
I thought they were pinned and I can't find them.
Yeah, I'd love it also, by the way.
What's up, Ben? How you doing?
I'm all right, Ben.
Let's see.
Clubhouse, Ben.
That's right.
That's right, man. I'm trying to get more Hawks in the Clubhouse, so it's a slow go.
I was doing Clubhouse at the beginning, and then just I'm on Twitter, basically. I live on Twitter, so I see spaces and I go there, but I need to be better at Clubhouse.
It's hard for me to do like Discord and Twitter and stuff like that, just because like it needs your eyeballs, it needs your attention. Whereas Clubhouse just needs your ears, and you can do stuff and then you hear something just pop in.
Yeah, you can Bluetooth, like I put it in the car, like I'm just Bluetooth and I'm just driving.
That's right, yeah. And then like, every so often to be like, yo, I got something to say about what you just said.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that is in Twitter Spaces too, or do you, I guess you're right, because you just get on Clubhouse, it's just pure audio.
I get on Clubhouse specifically too, though. Like the cool thing about Clubhouse for me is like I only do VeeFriends stuff in Clubhouse. So like I feel like Twitter, like it's like you're lost in the ether sometimes, and like you don't know. I don't know. It's just too Twitter's distracting.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get this link for you guys.
I also mostly exclusively do VeeFriends stuff on Clubhouse. Every once in a while, in a long while, I will venture out in other places, but I mostly hang over there.
Darb, I really appreciate getting this for me, because my buddy, he's freaking out. He's like, I don't know what the vibe's gonna be like. I don't know. I said, just chill, dude. Just chill. I already wrote the guy a question.
Yeah, it's just like talking to you, man. It's just like talking to Benny.
People always freak out when it's their first time,
I'm trying to get this so I can get a link.
What's going on, Ant?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Going good.
I didn't listen to you with the cards, and I bid under $2,000 like an asshole. I'm sorry, like I fucked myself.
What'd I tell you? I don't even remember.
You said it's definitely going over $2,000, like 100%. Like,
yeah, you
were so right, dude.
You can't win everything, You got some things you just let other people win.
Yeah, I didn't let anybody else win. I was a greedy asshole, so like I was trying to get more of them. My bad.
You're saying you didn't get any?
No, I didn't get a pack at all. Did you get some?
I didn't either, because I just was lazy and I never actually went in the bid. So like, that's my fault. I also didn't want to spend 10 grand, and I knew I was going to. So like, but I should have. Hindsight's 20/20. I just don't have time to flip shit. So like, I wouldn't even. They'd still be sitting on my case. And they'd probably be sitting on my shelf for like 4 years. So like, that could have been a good play. That might not be a good play. I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm not worried about it. So like, I got too much other shit happening. Hey, Darby, thanks so much for this link. This is baller. How did you get these videos? Did they send them and then you just is this your folder, or is this?
Yeah, this is so I built this like intranet for the Hawks, and I had invited everybody. I don't think people are getting that it's there. A couple people know it's there, but yeah, it's the website that I built where I'm putting all the raw video from all these calls.
Yeah. Well, Alex Dempluski uploaded video 1. I have that one in my Google Drive.
Oh, cool.
Let me send that one to you, so then you can add it to yours.
Great.
I don't know if the recording is high
quality. I've done a pretty good job of keeping up here.
Is there a site?
I think.
Is there a site, or is this Drive the site?
So there's a Google site. Let me, yeah, Yeah, I built a site, and I had initially had it password or open to anyone with a link. And then we talked about having our contact sheet in there, and people were like, well, let's make it only those with an invite. There's the link. I just put it in the chat. And I'm going to open it up really quickly if you guys want to look at it. I'll just make
it didn't work for me.
Okay, so yeah, because I had sent it an invite to all the emails that filled out the squad directory that Laura started at the very beginning last June. So you have to have a permission. You have to accept the invitation. But I'm going to open it up really quick. Just so
is this different than the party site, right, or the site that we're doing?
Yeah, this is different than the party site. My goal eventually is to have a blockchain.
I can't keep up with it all.
Oh, I know, a wallet login, just like Bored Ape, just like VeeFriends, where we can connect our wallet and we have access to Hawk's content and Hawk's whatever fun we want to have. But that takes more development time than I have access to. I can build this other stuff in my sleep, so I just built it really fast. But yeah, let me. It's gonna take me a minute to do this. If you guys want to check it out, Benny, do you want to talk about the party?
Yeah, I can. I mean,
catch up to a minute, and then I'll get this.
So we're having the party on Friday, May 20th. So it's from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m., like midnight. The place only holds 250 people. So we came up with this idea, since there's 125 Hawks, we're gonna sell 250 tickets, and we're gonna make each Hawk buy at least a pair, so that way they have to bring someone. So that way we can kind of mingle with people and get to know other people. And we're gonna open up the pre-sale to Hawks only, obviously, and let everybody buy at least one pair. And then we'll wait for 15 days to go by, and then we'll open up to anybody. Pretty much we'll open up to the Hawks again if they want to buy more. And then once that goes through, if there's still tickets left, we'll sell them in the Spectacular, the Gift Go channels, the Clubhouse. We'll just get a bunch of cool people there, man. Have a good time.
So is there like a POAP or something involved with
it? So me and Mikey are gonna be working on that, because I talked to Mikey. I really wanted to get an NFT drop, but he just told me it's probably too expensive. And
we're gonna be able to do that. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah. So he said that he would help build the POAP. Darby, you keep taking on too much. We're gonna make sure you love to volunteer for everything, and I'm gonna personally be your stopper. Okay, not because I don't think you can do it. I know you can, but you can't take on everything. So we're gonna enlist all the Hawkses. Is Hawkses a word? Is that a word? Hawkses? No, I don't know.
I think it's just Hawk.
Today.
It is today. All right. So, but anyway, yeah, we're gonna try to get a POAP, and whether we have it for the actual event or whether we drop it later, we'll figure all that out. I'm more worried about just making sure that we line up. We want to do a red carpet. We want to do a photo background wall. We want to get that stuff set up. We're going to get a bunch of photographers there, videographers there. I want to coordinate with them to make really cool content, so that way we have it forever. So that way, if we ever want to do any other promotions, any other events, we have B-roll from the first event, and we'll just keep evolving it. Once we meet each other in person, I feel too, that'll spark some more ideas and creativity on what we could do together as a collective. But that's the first start, man. So I'm excited. I think everybody else is excited. And if I get the mic today, I'm gonna ask Gary, I'm gonna tell everybody, first of all, there's gonna be about 50 Hawks in the room that never are in the Discord. So I'm gonna let them know about this party, and then we're gonna drop links, right, Darby? You're gonna be dropping links in the chat, right?
Well, that's what I wanted to go over to right now.
Yeah.
So I'm clear on what I should do, because you
should definitely. So is there a link? Do we have the link? Can you put it up?
I just put hawkflawk.com in this chat.
Can you make it clickable though?
Yep, sorry.
That'll be important too for when we're on the.
There's that.
Let's click on it real quick. I want to go see what it looks like. Yeah. So, okay, that's the other thing I'm going to announce. I'm going to let people know that we need some volunteers to either help us with, graphic design, videography, photography, DJing. Yeah, because it'd be cool to have some different people. So we'll share that out. And then where can they buy the tickets at? Where do they click on to buy tickets?
So on the upper, so if they scroll down, you can click the word tickets.
Yep, I
guess I should change that to buy tickets. You can also click the top right-hand corner, and to get to that ticket area, you're going to need to enter uppercase CAW. That's password protected. if you scroll down, there's I'm gonna share my screen.
Do you think it's really important that we have the password on there? Because if you're going to give it to everybody, what's the point?
Partly, I was doing that for testing purposes, just because it looked like shit a couple days ago. But also,
we can click on that graphic, and it'll take you to a shopping cart.
So the click here, if you're going to go to VeeConference, I had a click on there for the volunteer form that D-Rock said he'd share out, but I wanted to wait till today's call to see how this call goes. If we get video of Gary, doing something, saying he's going to share it or whatever, I think that'd be better to use than just us sharing the link. So.
All right. Well, looks good. I think at least it's functional. It's going to work. We'll be able to start selling tickets.
Should I take the password off?
Yeah, I don't think the password's gonna be listen. Yeah, I don't think we need a password, but I mean, we're only gonna keep this internally for a while anyway. So. Yeah,
I'm a nerd, so I'm like, who's gonna find it? Who's gonna?
Yeah, well, that's the best thing that can happen is you want somebody to find it, right? Like I don't know, But yeah, I think we just
password off now.
We do this internally, right, until the middle of April, and then if for some reason we still have tickets left, which we probably will, because I'm assuming everyone's not going to be able to make it. But between me and a couple other people that I know, in the clubhouse and in different channels, we'll be able to sell them, no doubt. Yeah. I've never not sold out an event ever.
I'm not worried about selling it. I'm sure we'll sell out. Yeah.
And I'm going to invite, I don't know, I'm going to tell Gary that we'll hold 10 tickets for him and his team. I'm going to thank him and Andy. Here's the other thing. Who should I be thanking other than Gary, Andy, Corso, and Daniel? Is there anybody else that you guys, that's helped you guys over the last? Oh, yeah, D-Rock too. That's right. Yeah, D-Rock's been helping you. Andy's been helping me. Corso's always obviously helpful. D-Rock, Daniel's awesome. And Gary, is there anybody else that you guys can think of? You guys are a quiet group.
Oh, here, I'm off mute. Add post, Verone.
Oh yeah, Posty. But is he really part of the team? He's not really part of the team though.
I don't know if he's got I don't think he has a hawk, but he's helped me out a lot, and he's helped out others. He, helped people get into their own VeeFriends
awesome,
early on.
Yeah, no, he's awesome, but he's not part of VeeFriends.
He's a hawk, isn't he? Is he a hawk?
He's part of VeeFriends. He's also a moderator.
I don't think he's.
And Gary gave him a goo, I think, didn't he? I'm looking him up on Discord right now.
I know Post has helped me.
Oh, he's definitely part of the part of us, but I just didn't think he was officially part of VeeFriends anymore at all.
Or Vaynermedia.
Yeah, he's on. Hang on, let me look him up.
Not part of the team anymore, but he was part of the OG mod group.
Oh, definitely an OG mod, yeah. Yeah, listen, I'll thank him. I don't care. I love Posty. You guys all buy his little ducks? You guys buy doodle ducks?
Yep.
No.
I did not.
Come on, man. Get some doodle ducks, legend.
I don't buy much of anything, really.
I'm just glad to see Legends on the screen today. I only ever get to see him once every 2 months when there's a hot call. He turns on the video. He's got his nice tan going. That smile's going. It's awesome.
I'm always here.
That's awesome, buddy. Well, Darby, what are we doing today, man? What's the purpose of this?
I wanted to. I considered not doing it just because we're going to be meeting with Gary, but I thought it would be good in case that people want to practice a question, and just get in the zone for if they're going to ask a question. And then also just everybody talk about how excited we are. I'm assuming everyone's as excited as I am about talking to Gary today. Let's just go around the room and let's start with Manny. Just talk about what you're hoping to get out of today's call, whether you speak or not. Can we each give it a couple of minutes of
unfortunately, I haven't had time to prepare as much for this call as I have for others, but I'm still, just general business type questions. I'm not, so much interested in the crypto or NFT space of, what's hot, what's not. I'm a slow adopter and just try doing my own homework on it to make sure it's right for me. But general business questions is really what I'm looking to get most out of the Hawk is, around content around, what's resonating with companies, what's resonating with, some of the companies he's supporting as far as messaging and things of that nature that could help drive some of the companies I'm working with or have worked for to improve our sales and our capabilities. That's really where I'm approaching this from.
Well, do you feel like you've gotten some of that from the past calls?
Not as much as I'd like. I think the past calls have been dominated about, what people think or wish and desire from VeeFriends or from their NFTs. And I think we're missing an opportunity there to help improve. Some of us are business owners, some of us work in the corporate world. You would pay a lot of money to get this type of one-on-one with Gary. And I think we're kind of missing the boat a little bit, focusing too much on just NFT or just this space, even though there's a lot of exciting things happening. I just think I'm not getting what I had wanted. So I'm going to spend some time over the next couple calls really focusing on what I want to see as far as questions and to start submitting them. That I think is the only way I'm going to get what I need out of it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've been like, I don't have 64 pieces of content a day, and I know that's what I need to do, so I don't have a question until I get there. And that was kind of what this, meet twice a week, get some content going for the Hawks. That's where that started. But personally, I feel the same. Like I'm grateful that we're still in the first year, right? So a lot of the hype for me, at least, has died down a little bit, and now I'm really getting into like feeling like I can consider some questions from a business background. I'm curious to see if this call today is different than the past two calls based on kind of what you described and how the Hawks have been progressing over the past few months. Legend, what about you? Are you going to ask a question? What are you thinking about today's call?
I'm not going to ask a question. I'm like, I don't know if you guys have read Ryan Park's comments in the Discord. Like, I'm just here to learn, man. So I'm looking forward to Manuel's questions. I really want to learn that side of the house. Just
Manuel.
How you got Manuel,
Manny. Just don't call me late for dinner. That's all I care.
No.
about.
So yeah, I'm just here to learn.
Nice.
What have you learned the most? What do you think you've learned the most over the last year? Because I remember when I first talked to you back in like the summertime, man. What do you think you learned so much so far?
Really, probably the biggest takeaway is the TikTok stuff that we've been doing. That's pretty much it. Like, the masterclass was a lot more in depth than what I thought was. Like, he came out with like some slideshows, some bangers, some pretty good hints that normally creators, because I've gone to courses and whatever, right, and a lot of them gatekeep like certain things, and I could tell Alex is really he shares like a lot of the nitty-gritty stuff that he actually does and executes. So
are you in his Discord?
A lot for that.
Are you're in Alex's Discord?
Yep.
He's got a lot of good stuff in there too, man.
Yeah.
Do whatever you feel like is going to be fun for you. That's what I always tell people. I mix it up. For me personally, I like mixing it up because my life is a mix of personal and business. So I'm always just kind of, my problem is having like, do I have consistent content pillars? I mean, I do for my business, but I don't for my personal. So I just kind of do whatever feels good and just let it out there. And you can mix both, you know what I mean? Because people are going to resonate. You can't just be all business. I will tell you that. People get like kind of turned off to just all business. Some people do. Now, some people, it depends on your audience, really. It all depends on your audience. You're in sports cards, right, Ben?
I am.
Yeah. So again, those guys, some of those guys, they actually like sports cards nonstop 24/7. Like, I know a lot of those guys. I used to be in that world. And so you might be okay with just being business and showing them all the new stuff and new products and, you know, but
if you've ever seen it, right? All sports card content sucks. The best one was Logan. The best one was Logan opening up that box.
Do you know Nathan Burns from Grand Slam Collectibles?
I not off the top of my head.
He's a box breaker. He's like, he blew up over the last couple of years. He's got a different spin on it, but yeah, he doesn't, it's not like he's putting out like content. And it's like, you're right. People buy off people. So like, if you can somehow tie your personal life and mix it with your business life and kind of show both sides, I feel like that's something unique that people will be attracted to, because most people aren't just always attracted to the business side of things. They're usually attracted to the human behind the business.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Luckily, I don't have a business, so
Not yet, bro. We're trying to get you one now. You're trying to get one, aren't you?
I don't know yet. Like, people are saying it's around the age of where YouTube can be a business. So hopefully that is
TikTok, man. You gotta do TikTok. YouTube's gonna be past, like, YouTube's gonna be like what your granddad did. TikTok, man. We just started now.
I wouldn't say that. YouTube is definitely the future.
Yeah, you can create a really simple way of creating your own channel on, let's say, like Roku TV or smart TVs. And I think some of that is through the YouTube channel. Like, you could have a Legend Gary app on a smart TV where all your content is streamed. I shared that in the Discord at one point, but yeah, there's a lot of new distribution channels for video content that are not TikTok. TikTok's really, I feel like, at least right now, it's so new, it's really centralized, but the YouTube content spreads a little bit easier.
But in saying that, though, it's a lot harder to get noticed on YouTube because there's already so many successful people. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're brand new, YouTube's a hard place to like get traction.
TikTok's the place to start now. Yeah, like what maybe there's 1 or 2 years left. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to do both, but yeah, TikTok, I'm still trying to hit 4 a day. I'll get 1 a day, but TikTok for sure is the place where there's growth opportunities that are really, really cheap. I'm going to move on to somebody else, but really quick, I wanted to say Monica's just asked me to allow her to record the meeting. No one's asked me to do that before. I can't seem to change the settings once I've started my Zoom meeting, and I didn't have that turned on. And then Signe had also asked, what's a good way to record these meetings? I know some of you have recorded these with external apps that are not Zoom. Does anybody have a piece of software that you could recommend to record the meeting with Gary that's not going to require any permission changes in the Zoom by like Gary's team?
So I got, and this might be a serious hack, but I got these Ray-Ban stories, and so they have a camera built in. They just upped it to a minute, right? So I was thinking like it might be cool to like, have them and take a 1 minute shot. Like, you could do it minute by minute, and then piece it together. I thought that might be cool.
I want those glasses. Where'd you get
Wait,
them?
we should all get the glasses, and when it's your turn to go, you should put them on and like.
Hell
yeah, dude.
That's what we need.
And then it can be linked to the metaverse.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
How come you're just now telling us about this? We need those.
Yo, these things are awesome too. Like, I'm gonna get a pair you can get them with your prescription lenses or clear lenses. And so I have the sunglasses. Like I said, they just bumped it up, so you could only do it in 30-second intervals before. And like, I was just doing the update before I got on the call. They bumped it to a minute now, and that's a pretty good amount of time, like, to record. So, but like, as soon as it shuts off, and then you just hit the button and go right back. So you can piece the video together after that if you wanted.
So it's recording to the cloud, so you can do a minute, stop it, or it's going Bluetooth to your device.
Yeah, watch.
The future.
Yeah, this is it.
I've got a set from, I think it's Aimpoint, that allows you to record to an SD card, and you can do up to like an hour, depending on the size of the SD card.
So
They're pretty cool.
While he's setting that up, Calvin, I see you're recording this call, right? From your screen background, but I don't know what that logo is for that piece of software. I'm wondering if you can let us know in the chat, or what software you're using in case that helps. Monica and Signe record Gary's call today. I know there's a couple.
For mine,
yeah.
I use something called OBS, and I can show you how to use it, but it's pretty easy. There's options where you can choose to capture to record like a certain window that you have open or a certain screen. So it's pretty simple. You can record for however much data you have on your computer. So if you decide to go, it's a free download as well. It just takes some getting used to.
What's it called?
OBS Studio.
And I'll turn that setting on for our meetings so that if anybody ever wants to record this one, thanks Monica for letting me know it wasn't on.
Those glasses are sick.
You see the thing up here?
I see the light, yeah.
And so when the light shuts off, it stops recording. And then so I'll show you like what the app looks like as soon as this.
Did you buy those at Best Buy?
Yeah. No, Sunglass Hut. So
I saw Ray-Bans at Best Buy that had like Bluetooth speakers in the side, and I was wondering, like, do yours have speakers in there too?
Hold on.
I can
hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's play. So it plays through these things. It sounds so good, dude. Like you have no idea how good it sounds. It's freaking awesome.
I'm buying a pair.
So
What's the
look,
retail on them?
So check. They're like $300.
Yeah.
So you see, like it uploads them to like this app, and then I press this button, and then you'll start this. Did I hit it? And then you should see the stuff pop up here, like in a minute, and then like that's how it downloads content from the glasses to the phone on the app, and you don't have to like keep getting more memory on the glasses because it just keeps pushing it to the app, like push it back to the app.
So let me ask you this: did you have to press a button to like keep recording? Like, how does that work?
Yeah. So I don't know if you could. There's like a little.
So you just like every time you want to record, you just go like that. And just
that's it, and you can take a picture too. So like if I wanted to take a picture, like I'll long hold, and that was a picture.
Now, do you see anything on the inside of your glasses or not?
No, not yet, but that's like the next step is like to make them AR, like augmented.
Yeah,
reality.
like so you don't even see like a recording button going off and you're like,
I see a little light blinking when I'm recording on the inside, like a little light blinking, and when it stops, then I know it's done recording. But like the person on the outside can see it always so that they don't think they're getting spied on, you know?
Well, that's the part that we got to figure out how to put some black tape over that.
You can tint some white out black, and then you just put like white out over it. But I don't know. It's all good.
Nice. I want to get to Ben. Ben, I don't see you much. We don't get to see you in here very much. I'm curious what your expectations or hopes are for today's meeting with Gary. Yes, Ben Mitch. Yes.
Milch. Everybody sees a T there, but it's an N, an L. Milch.
Oh, Mitch.
No, it's fine. You know, what I'm really trying to get is a couple things. Number one, I'm trying to make sure that I get my face in front of Gary every 9 weeks. I thought that was a decent idea. Also, I'm really trying to figure out how to making content like an actual practical thing that you can do without it being an entire other job. Because right now I have 2 jobs. So adding on a third one, which might be very, very important, I'm like, I don't know where it is. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I'll give you a hint.
I mean, you can't use your spare time between 12 and 6 a.m. like I do?
You got to hire someone.
12 and 6 a.m.
Emil, how are you? Good morning.
Morning, Emil. Somebody should figure out a content stream that's just sleeping, just you sleeping.
Your phone's muted.
You can do content while you're sleeping.
It could be dangerous.
There we go. Hello, everyone. How we doing?
Well, I'm a little sleepy.
Oh man, tired. I've been looking at my monitor the whole time, just trying to looking at book games, trying to snipe something, and trying to get some good deals at this hour. Nothing happens during my regular business hours.
We just heard some crazy alpha about book games, didn't we, Ben? Were you on the call in Clubhouse early this morning?
I was, but it was kind of like, it seemed like there was both advice, right? the first advice was, hey, you should buy book games right now because there are a bunch of whales who are going to sweep the floor and the price is going to go up. And then the other advice was, hey, after the snapshot, the price is going to go down, so you should buy then. So basically the advice was buy today, sell on April, I don't know, like the second after the snapshot, sell, and then buy back again like later in the day.
Yep.
I guess that works, but I don't know. It
That's
sounds like a
job.
lot of
You have to, hey, listen, you have to quit both your other jobs and you have to stop making content so then you can log into Token Trove and then snipe all the book games and sell all the book games. It's the vortex, baby. It's like a vortex.
It sounds easier to just try to snipe them on the 6th, honestly.
Sounds easier just like to go to work and just do what we're all good at and just keep.
Yeah, that's it. I've noticed that. The amount of hours spent.
Yeah, just go sell some more houses, right, Emil?
Exactly. Trying to make some of these deals happen. The amount of time, if I had spent just like chasing up leads and really just doing searches and selling, all it takes is like one or two actually like deals done, and it pays for more than all of this. So, yeah, that is, yeah, when you think about it. But the game is fun.
So, Emil, I want to try to get to everybody today to talk about what their expectations are for the call today. I know today's your first call with Gary. I'm curious if you're going to ask a question, and how are you feeling about the call?
I was feeling good as then this time sort of just dwindles down and my eyes get redder and redder and blood sort of flows to my head. My motivation sort of decreases, but trying to stay pumped. I think I mentioned previously, rather than have a question, because I think there's no question that he hasn't answered in his content. And if you follow him, like his voice is sort of answers us in the back of our minds anyway, a lot when we kind of think of any strategies and plans. Rather, for me, I want to be, have this group as sort of an accountability group. I need to get things done. So I've been, like we mentioned last time, I've been trying to get some TikToks sort of up and running. So I kind of want to just announce more formally, if I do get called up, I have, this is sort of my accountability. So I want to start making TikToks. I need to start making content, and I commit to you guys that I'm going to do it. And when I've said it now more openly and to everyone, people that I meet regularly with, this like mastermind group of folks that we've created, that's my accountability. So that's my thing rather than a specific question. But I do have some questions that I've put in. I was talking with Jeremy Howes about the book games. And because I think he follows every kind of bit of alpha that's available, and said, look, Jeremy, what kind of questions would you ask about, if you had the opportunity about book games and series 2? And we discussed some back and forth and something about, some frames and what's special about the characters, like why is he adding characters and whatnot. So I posted that in the questions in the Q&A. So if that comes up, I prefer that just to be sort of, rather than my actual question, I prefer that to sort of be one of the rapid fire questions he does. So if you guys read that in the Q&A and give it a thumbs up, if you think it's worthy, then that would be cool too. My TikTok is Emil Verghese. So let me just change. I'll just change.
By the way, I appreciate you talking about this being a mastermind group. I've started researching mastermind groups. It hasn't been on my radar for a long time. Like, I've got different kinds of accountability groups, but a mastermind group is a different thing.
What was your TikTok? I need to get on TikTok and I need to post there and I need to do all that kind of stuff, but I need to follow some of you guys.
Yeah, it is. I'm just going to change my name on my thing. It's my first name and last name, just Emil Verghese. My name Emil, and I'll just put Gorgees. So it's at Emil Verghese. So if you just mouse over my picture now, EMILGORGEES.
Okay.
The same last name. I just posted my second video.
Darby?
Okay. I'm looking for you now.
Hey, Emil, do you know who Alex Stempluski is? Have you met him yet?
Is that the photographer guy?
Yeah, he's a photographer. He's a Hangout Hawk, and he started a master class, and he's been doing a lot of training. I know Legend of Gary's been a part of that. He's really good with information. He's really good at just telling you every single secret that he has. I definitely recommend you like following his like Discord and doing it. He's got like a 30-day challenge. Is he still doing that?
Yeah. So it's up to section part 2 now. So I'm a Darby should have put me onto him, I think it was. So I went back and got his first video, his Zoom recording where he goes through and talks about TikTok and vertical videos and all this. So yeah, right now just like the videos I've posted so far of me doing Lego with my kids, but really I still just want to get familiar with the app, like the settings and transitions and all that sort of stuff. So that's why I'm just doing like my personal stuff, not real estate stuff now. But my sort of, commitment was I just want to start making videos on TikTok, just to learn the app, whatever they may be. But yeah, so I am on his Discord, and I have been watching his video and trying to catch up and just getting my hands dirty with TikTok.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, he's good, man. His videos are awesome. Wow, he's got such talent. Smart guy.
Well, we're all sharing stuff in the chat today.
Hey, not to change the subject, what are we looking at for price on the tickets for the Hangout Hawk party?
Yes.
125.
$125.
Stop thinking it's a different world, a different reality.
Well, that was my next
that
thing.
Way
right?
people in Japan on yen can figure it out too. It's 25.
Well, that was my next thing, right? Was like, I know you guys talked about maybe some kind of wallet, right, to take the money in. Like, I own HangoutHawk.crypto, and so if you guys want to use that as like a Hawk wallet, like a multi-sig wallet, like we could set that up, and then maybe we could have the money go into the multi-sig wallet and whatever.
So right now, Benny are you locked up, Benny? Fronted the cost,
no.
And so we linked the tickets to his PayPal just to get it done.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
I would rather. I mean, I would love to.
Next year, you can set all that up.
But yeah.
I don't know how that tech stuff works, man. So
there's only so much time in the day to build stuff. So.
That's awesome. Because as soon as we're done with this event, we're gonna plan like the next event. Whether it's like a quarterly event, maybe we do a meetup like 3 months from now or something like that, depending on what kind of interest we get. I love the fact that you guys are talking about masterminds, Manny. I'm a part of a couple different masterminds. I know how those kind of go, and that sounds like a really fun idea for the Hawks. I think there's a lot of value there, and I feel like that we can give a lot of value to the rest of the world with those. And again, maybe we do like something like do virtual ones, and then like every quarter or once a year we do like a big get together where it's just like a Hawk conference.
That'd be awesome.
There's all kinds of stuff that we can do, and I definitely like the idea of figuring out a way to create almost a derivative token. Again, me and Mikey, you guys know Mikey Trompetta. We are going to go approach the VeeFriends team at VCon because they're going to put the Hawk, they're going to retire the Hawk. So we're going to talk to them about getting permission, right? Because you have to do it the right way. Kind of like we've been asking for permission to like use the Hawk for our party. Andy has been really good. D-Rock's been cool. We just want to get permission because we want to do it the right way because we want their blessing, right? And if we can get that, then we might be able to create a derivative token and then literally have the Hawks just kind of really push their own thing, right? And not really have to count on like Gary Vee throwing us a bone or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, I feel like the 125 of us will be way more powerful than any one thing.
I mean, Gary rises, we all rise, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We're all just it's like a hot potato game, Yeah.
I mean, does anybody like feel like we have to ask him like whatever his plans for Hangout Hawks after retiring Hangout Hawks? I feel like that's a huge question today, right?
I mean, I upvoted that one, so I don't know if I
would even ask him, what's it mean you're going to retire the Hawk? Like, let him.
What does that mean?
Because we don't want to make it sound like we're trying to get something more, right? Because I feel like a guy like that doesn't like that. He wants you to ask a better question. So it's like, I think the question would be like, what does that mean the Hawks are going to be retired? Tell me more about what that looks like, Mr. Gary.
I think that's a great way to pose the question. Like you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Who's asking that one? Because I'm literally just going to try to get in at the end just to announce the party. So I don't want to take up any time.
I don't want to take up any time, and I haven't asked any questions. But there's always little things that I could ask. And I think I'm going to, if people jump on that are never involved in the Discord or anything and jump on and ask the same redundant questions, but I would ask it to y'all. Like, this is the one that popped into my mind today. And you can just tell me if you think it's, like, to me, it's not really been answered by Gary before, but it's, say if I were going to start a project, but I'm not an artist, how do I bridge that gap, that vulnerability that I would have there to, to be able, I can't do it because I'm not an artist, but if it's my project, how do I bridge that gap?
Can I tell you what I'll say?
Yeah.
Or what I think. I can tell you what I think he'll say. He'll say, find someone in the community or find someone that you love their art, and partner with them.
Yeah.
And have them, you talk to them about your vision, they will draw it for you. And then, like, because every NFT project has a graphic designer.
But how do okay, so say I wanted to grow in the future and that we break partnership for whatever reason, how do I fix that vulnerability there?
Well, then you just find another graphic designer, because I mean, are you ever going to be a graphic designer? Are you ever going to be able to be artistic?
Yeah, no, there's more than one way you can buy art. You don't have to buy, you can buy art with full licensing. Like, I've been buying up Creative Commons art. I've been using Creative Commons music in the podcasts. So it just depends on the deal you make with the artist. So you can hire an artist for hire, or you can hire an artist that wants to own the IP to their art. And artists that draw, I mean, an established artist like that has a clientele is going to be less likely to let you have the IP, right? But if you get ownership of the art, you own it. Or if you get, so I've been trying to use Gary's idea of leverage, and I've been getting a lot of Creative Commons art that I can use however I want. Like Toads are Creative Commons, Noun Punks are Creative Commons. There's a lot of Creative Commons art you could use, depending on what the product is or what your idea is. You can leverage existing communities and some of that Creative Commons art. Mm-hmm. But because you hire an artist doesn't mean they're going to want to own the art. Yeah.
Any kind of project I can think of, because I'm not an artist. Okay, you take, same as Gary, like Gary's wanting to do his art. He's obviously not doing the version 2 stuff. But he has enough people probably doing it, or someone, because he's going to be a little bit vulnerable with that continuing on to look like that, if he were going to continue. So that's just kind of a random question, because not being an artist.
Well, what type of art are you looking to license or use? Are you looking for graphics? Are you looking video? Are you looking all of the above? What are you trying to use?
I mean, really, it's just ideas that I think about, and everything that comes back to, I can't draw.
Neither can I, but I've used services like Fiverr or Design Crowd to create logos, create graphics, infographics, stuff like that. Darby was talking about, licensing music. Just because I wanted every option possible, I licensed the song that I was going to use for my podcast intro and outro. But it was like really, really cheap. So, I mean, depending on what you're going to use it, how you're going to use it, don't be scared of looking at how different artists license their work. And I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a TV show that had Zachary Levi or whatever, the guy that was in the Shazam movie, Chuck, originally is where I knew him from. The theme song to his TV show was actually the same song I'm using for my intro. So when you look at licensing or even talking with the artist, make sure you secure, if you can, full ownership of it. Otherwise, they could sell that stuff down the road as well. So just keep that in mind.
That's what I'm wondering. So you're not worried. You bought your intro and outro.
I licensed it. So I have it for podcasts, for YouTube, for television, if I ever want to do that someday, or Roku or something like that. I've got it licensed in all those areas, not just one specific. And that cost me a little bit more for that license. But depending on how you're going to use it, just look into the licensing of that. I don't know if you subscribe to like Adobe. They've got a stock photo and graphic site. You can license that by individual piece, or you can buy a subscription and get X number of credits that you can use to claim stuff on a monthly basis. There's a lot of new tools out there that are open for creating content.
Yeah, Canva.com also has a pretty good pro system now where they've got templates, music. I mean, a lot of it's stock photography, so everybody has access to the same content. But yeah,
just be careful with Canva. They got hacked and they got all my personal passwords and email and everything. So now I'm on all kinds of lists. So when I do stuff like that for the free tools, I just create a generic email address and keep my information generic. So if it ever gets hacked, you don't have to worry about it.
It's interesting. I have I have the pro account, but I've never been hacked. I mean, I've been hacked before, but not.
Canva was. Their systems were hacked not too long ago.
Yeah, I mean, so Monica, I would just like, as you're talking, it sounds like you're almost limiting yourself to, I can't draw, so I can't do the project, right? And like, I mean, I love Gary and all, but I mean, his version 1 stuff wasn't, anything special, right? Like it was art because he did it, right? Like, and so it wasn't when I show it to people, it's like, oh, what the hell is that? Like, that looks ridiculous, right? And so, I mean, when you just show it to most people, right? But like, the fact of the matter is that it's about what it symbolizes, like what those things symbolize, and like, what you're trying to achieve in your Web3 project. Because Web3 is really, for me, it's a lot about empowering people, right? So if you come up with a way to empower people through Web3, you could draw squiggly lines on a fucking piece of paper and say, this is your access to get into my thing that empowers you, like, so I think like, for me, when I hear you, like, I want you to just like, stop limiting, stop limiting yourself to I can, right? Like, this is my idea. I think this is a good idea. This is how I'm going to like use Web3 and use NFTs to empower people to do whatever the heck you want to do with it, right? And I think a lot of people want to get on board on this. And so, how many people can you kind of find right off the bat that are like, yeah, that's a great idea. Like, let's get on board. And then the pieces fall together, like they start to mesh together, right? Like,
I thought like the closest thing I could do myself is how Gary talks about photography NFTs. And like, I'm not a photographer or anything, but you could at least take some classes and learn how to take a picture.
If you keep saying that you're not a photographer.
So,
I am a photographer.
You can take a class and learn how to draw too.
Well, Monica, what's your project? Like, what do you want? Like, you're talking about, I want him to make the art. Like, you're focusing on the art. Like, considering you're not pitching it as an art NFT, like you're buying it just for the art, because you're just getting a third person to do it. So let's take away that technical aspect of it, because that is just, what's it going to look like? What is the project, right? Because like, what do you want to do first before we start talking about how good the art is going to be? Because that's obviously not why people are coming into it, right?
Well,
if you're not an artist yourself, and
if I were to do like a photography, like a photograph of an animal, and it's not really to monetize, although later if you build everything to monetize later, like when metaverse comes along, then that would be a different thing. But if you do photography and then like teach people about like this particular animal, I mean, you could draw the animal too, but to me it was just photography, and I was trying to figure out a way that would work if that's going to be the trend of 2022.
No, it's not about what the trend, the trend of 2022 is going to be people following people that are authentic and have authentic ideas, right? Like, it's not going to be, let me follow this person's thing or that person's thing. Like, we're pioneers in this space, like we're the ones that create the trends, especially us as Hangout Hawks, who get to talk to Gary, who's, if you want to talk about pecking order, like he's captain freaking alpha for the most part, right? Like, we're in his group. We should be the ones, creating the trends, right? You should be the one creating the trend. Like again, you get all kinds of information about Web3, all this stuff, NFTs, crypto, just how can you see something fitting in that maybe could help you in your own life or whatever, right? But like your idea has to be something for me, right? Like for me, something that's going to succeed is going to be something that's going to be authentic about a person that other people kind of latch on to, because they see like, oh shit, like I get that, you know what I mean? Like, Like you're not going to copy all like all these projects that fail, they try to do staking tokenomics, like they try to just like, oh, I like how this guy did utility on this thing and that thing, and then they flop because it's not authentic, right? In my opinion.
I'm not going to do anything until I find that it's the perfect thing in time. But everything I do, I'd go back to something that I can do and I can expand on. And if I'm not the artist, I don't know how I can do that. But
because the art doesn't matter though. Like you think the art matters more than it does. I think like the art doesn't.
Yeah, art's got nothing to do with it.
Art's got nothing to do with it, man. Like
got nothing to do with it. Like the reason the Mona Lisa is valuable is because 1,000 years or 100 years after Leonardo da Vinci died, they figured out how much of a brainiac he was and about how much like he did that, right. And then they're like, oh, he did that. Okay, cool. That's worth something. Right. Like we're gonna put that on the wall and we're gonna like look at it forever.
And back when he was alive, somebody would have used it to wipe their butt and not thought twice about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a good point.
I mean, he was pretty popular in his time.
Yeah. Not like he is now, though.
Right. He was a lot of people thought he was crazy, you know, like most people think that most people that are doing stuff different than the rest of everybody else. Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy until you're right. Right. And then you're smart until somebody proves you're wrong. And then you're an idiot again. And then if you give a shit about what people think, you'll stay in that cycle your entire life. Right. And you just can't. Like,
yeah, do something you love. As long as you love it, Monica, you love it, you're passionate about it, like just do it, and the people that love you are gonna support you.
Yeah.
And that's when you're gonna be able to keep going. Like, because we all have bad days, right? Like, you know, I'm sure in the last 3 weeks we all had a bad day, right? Well, the reason it keeps us going is because we have something bigger out there than of ourselves.
This is all so good. I want to, Monica, I'm glad I was going to ask you to talk, and we have 8 minutes left, but I want to make sure it's Gal, right? Not Gal. Gal. I want to make sure I say it right.
Yeah, it's Gal.
I'd love to know, everybody's been able to speak. I want to make sure if you want to let us know how you're feeling about the drop-in or the talk with Gary today. And if you have a question you're going to ask, I'd love to know your perspective.
I don't yet. And sorry, I was super late to this. I was just stuck with work stuff. So I missed a good half of the call. But other than that, just super excited for obviously the call later, and then this Hawk party. So it's gonna be awesome.
I was gonna say quickly, I posted the link to the image, the background image. So download it, save background image, and I think you might be closer to getting the hint.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
If all of us have this as a background.
I had put it in, but thanks. I mean, I'm on a weird spotty Wi-Fi today, so.
Do you think we're gonna have one more hot call before VCon or not? I can't remember. When's the date? When's the date for fifth one?
I think it is. It's in May.
Oh, is it right before?
They all have to be done before May.
Gift Goat's not going to be done before May, so you ain't got to worry about that. There's no way he's getting out 3 more gifts before May. And if he does, I'll be probably mad, right? That means he rushed him.
Dude, don't talk about the gift goats here. We don't talk about the gift goats in the Hangout Hawk chat, okay?
Yeah, we do, because we're trying. Hey, listen, because a couple of us want you guys to go out and get a gift goat, right? So that way you guys can.
Yo, some of us like need to make a little bit more money to afford one.
Let's jump back to
It's only going to get more expensive, so like it's just going to get more expensive.
Yo, did you guys see that the time traveling ogre book games token? The floor is like 86 ETH.
That's all. No big deal.
That's crazy. Like, what is there something that I missed on that? Like, is there something that I missed?
Look at the date on it. But let's jump back to Go, man. We jump.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, nice background.
I'm
just glad I got mine at
he's
5.
He's an activator, man. Look how fast he went, man. Gall makes shit happen. I can tell. Like he's like boom, boom, boom.
So a couple of things.
I don't know. This background makes me look weird.
Oh yeah, what's going on with that? That's weird.
You may go green screen set.
Yeah, change.
Remove green screen. I think.
There we go.
Yeah, nice.
There we go. I was like,
the board over here is killing it.
Hey Wilson, I want to hear from you before the official time for this scheduled call is up. Are you going to ask a question today? You think? How you feeling about the call with Gary? Are you there? Maybe not. Okay.
His
And
computer
Kelvin,
on camera.
you're recording still, but I don't know if you're there. So I've asked everybody. We got 4 minutes left. I'm happy to stick around for a little bit longer too.
It's in one more hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still gotta wait another hour. Yeah, don't fall asleep on us, bro. Listen, we'll start doing some priming exercises. Get that blood flowing, Email.
What time is it in Japan right now?
2
Yeah.
a.m.
2 a.m.?
Yeah, 2 a.m.
That's nothing, man. Come on. Well, the problem is you were talking about this probably last night too. I don't know. You're always. I feel like you're on American time because I feel like I've always seen you.
Yeah, my wife's like, "What are you doing up?"
In the Discord, everybody can. I'm going to go in after this and review the questions for the upvoting. I think they just look at that live during the meeting, right? But Wilson,
the thumbs up.
Oh, okay.
I think they're gonna hit that first, and just rapid fire through those, and then they're gonna get into the. Daniel said he was doing it, and then just start calling on people. And I guess Daniel told me they try to call on people that have never talked, which I thought was interesting. Because it's like, I don't know, yeah, it is interesting how they pick people. I will say that. Definitely get in and get your hand raised though if you want to talk.
Yeah. So I think Benny of this group, Benny is going to talk. Monica, you're going to raise your hand. Who else? I'm really curious to see. Amelia, yeah. I'm curious to see if the energy and the speed of the meeting is different today. If there's a lot of.
I'm not going to raise my hand, but if there are a bunch of dumbass questions, I'm at least going to raise my hand and ask a dumbass question too. Or at least I'm going to take my time and say, guys, can we ask some questions that haven't already been asked? We've all been following Gary. Can you not know that this is what he's going to answer?
Monica, change your background.
It's funny, man. Listen, I want to do a show with Monica. That's what I want to do. Me and Monica are going to do a show. And Legend's going to be on it too, because it was his idea. And it's going to be like, hey, what do you want to ask Gary? And then me and Monica will just give the answers what Gary's going to say.
Yes.
Because again, but you know what, Monica? Like, I just want to feel the love for all those people, because guess what? Maybe they haven't seen it, and maybe this is their first introduction to it. So you got to love on those people.
Okay.
No, it's hard. I know it's hard.
Empathy.
Then we have a newbie.
It sure does feel a lot better to love
from
them.
newbies.
Now, I just wish, because I love the questions that we upvote, because obviously more than one person needs that, and it helps. And then I like to know the inside loop. Give us something that the other group doesn't know. So that's what a lot of those questions are, and I'm going to go and look and see more.
But they post the recording after the call, so like everybody gets to see everything. So you're never going to get any inside information, like really.
Oh, but do they post it publicly? Have they been posting these calls publicly?
Not the whole thing. I thought they only put it stupids.
Well, we get them somehow. I mean, so like technically, it's not like
we get the full recording.
Yeah, so like I joined recently, right? So I found that like they're in the Hawk chat in the pinned post. You can download it, but there's no YouTube link or anything for it, and they're not on any of Gary's stuff. Gary will post like a short snippet and a highlight reel of it, but no real, like, you can't just.
No, I get it, but let's just say he said, "Oh, hey, go buy this." Like, well, it's not like we don't have 100. We each have 100 friends that we're gonna be like, "Oh, guess what? Like, go buy this." Like, it's like, it doesn't like. It's not like you can keep stuff a secret. So, like, I mean, it's like I don't know. I just don't. I think you guys are. I think everyone's a little bit high expectations to think you're gonna get anything like. Other than just hanging out and having a good time, like we're at a cocktail bar. I feel like that's what it is. I feel like that's what the Hangout Hawk session's like. I could be wrong, but I don't feel like it's. I feel like it's because there's just so many different people coming in and out. There's not the same people aren't always in the Discord. There's only like 30 or 40 of us that are active in Discord. And when B Garbs was doing his poll for the apparel, he was like upset that he got 40 responses. I'm like, dude, that's like all the responses. That's like all the responses. I said, that's all that's in here, bro. Like, you're only gonna get 40 answers. And like some of us have multiple Hawks, and then like Gary's got like 15 Hawks, and the other 50 Hawks just aren't around. I mean, like they're like just, I don't know, they're living life, I guess.
I mean, Mo.
Yeah, no, I was impressed.
Yeah, 40 is a lot. I was like, bro, just run with that. Whatever answers you got, run with. That's more than we got for the party. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're at the 11 o'clock, the 1 hour mark. I know people have lives to get to. I can stick around if people want to sit and chat. Otherwise, thanks for coming to the meeting, this drop-in today. I'm so groggy. I did not sleep last night. I woke up like every hour, like, don't miss your alarm. Yeah.
I can answer that question you have in chat if you want to stay on.
And we'll see if you're going to go.
I can stay on.
Do you want me to answer that question for you?
Talking to me?
I'm staying on because I got to stay on for an hour.
Yeah, you said you came in to get step-by-step instructions to become a millionaire. Do you want to go through that? Do you want to go through that right now in front of everybody, or you want to do it privately?
Sure, go ahead. Throw it at me. It wasn't a question.
What's your time frame?
You know.
What's your time frame? When do you want to become a millionaire?
Make bank.
I don't know when. Like, what's your time for? Like, I need to know, like, because again, being a millionaire. I mean, you want to be it tomorrow or like 20 years from now? Because I'm gonna give you a totally different strategy.
20 years.
20 years?
20 years.
I'm gonna come in and say, no, you want it sooner than that. Like, you want to make significant wealth
Well, I'm
in
trying
a reasonable
to
amount
be
of time.
realistic. I mean,
Well, realistically, inflation's going to be so much that like $1 million will get you some milk in 20 years. So like,
that's
So here, I mean, really, here, Gary, do you have a? You said you were working right now, or you're not working right now?
I am not homeless. I just want, again.
Yeah. So how much? So here, let me ask you this.
That was
how
from
much,
the prior meeting.
Here now.
Probably around like 50, 60 G's.
All right. So do you spend all that 50 or 60 G's? Like, how much of it do you have to like live on?
No, I save and invest quite a bit.
So quite a bit. That's not amount. Like 25%. Like, do you like leave to save?
Like 15% goes to retirement funds, 10%.
Yeah, you'll be a millionaire in 20. You'll be a millionaire in 20 years if you just keep doing that.
Okay, cool.
I mean, 20 years. I mean, 20
dollar
years.
be worth in 20 years?
Yeah, it's not going to get you. You're not going to be able to buy a tank of gas with it.
dude,
I'm just answering the guy's questions. That's all, because I'm trying to get him to understand that it's not just as simple as like, oh, $1 million. Like, when do you want the $1 million now? Do you want it later? What are you going to do with it? Why? Like, there's all kinds of...
Legend, how old are you?
28.
28. I'm 40. So I think, and you realize, like, I got 3 kids, so like mindset sort of changes as you mature, and the notion of wealth, the necessity of wealth sort of changes, and $1 million in 20 years is kind of, both those figures are arbitrary, right? It's not like the dollar figure kind of, $1 million is just a reflection of financial security, significant financial wealth that you can kind of do and live as you please, right? That's kind of what the expression $1 million means, right? And probably in 10 to 20 years time, $1 million won't actually have that real function of the financial wealth and freedom that you think about, right? Because you want more than that just in retirement funds for when you retire, right? But you don't want to wait that long to have just that. And then in 20 years as well is kind of, you have maybe not really thinking that through, right? Because I think at that age, you'll probably want more. And you can do that just with, I'm a real estate agent, some decently smart real estate investments, just buying your own home. If you don't already have one, or buying another one as an investment, that's an easy, like, traditional one. But so I think you need to really reconsider, well, what are the numbers that make sense for you, and what's kind of a timeline that's realistic for you, and what's the purpose of it? What kind of lifestyle do you want to achieve from it? And another thing to keep in mind is, I don't know your family situation, but I was still single at 28, maybe just about getting engaged at that time, had my 3 kids in my 30s. That significantly changes. So if you think you're going to have that kind of family dynamic change in that timeline as well, you need to rethink, like, be thoughtful about how much money you kind of need, what you need it for, okay? And then also the strategy. Like, if you, like, I want to, private jet my life all around the place. Well, when you have kids, that's not happening. I needed to ask my wife permission to go to VeeFriends, right? It's not a financial thing.
Grant Cardone takes his kids around on the jet.
Yeah. Like I said, that's FU money. I'm in the program. That's long term for me. And also, yeah, like if you think that's going to happen, then the kind of business you do, the kind of work you're going to do that's going to get you to that wealth is also going to need to be a bit different and a bit more well thought. Is it going to be something that just requires full-time intensity from you, or is it going to be essentially hands-off? How much time can you dedicate now before the family sort of kicks in, right? I kind of wish I did more grinding when I was single, because now it really, like I said, I need permission to head down just to VCon, right? Where like, you know, to take that time out with the wife and kids and say, I'm leaving for a week, versus earlier on, I could stay working through the night. Like even now I feel bad staying up till this hour because my wife has to get the kids in the morning, right? Whereas earlier on, you can just grind through till 6 a.m. every morning, you know, grinding out websites, doing whatever. So you need to be thoughtful, I think, of your timeline, how your life is going to change in that timeline, right? Like particularly being family and career, and then also what level of wealth actually makes sense for you. What are the real kind of figures that are going to make it? Because $1 million in 20 years, $1 million in 5 years, $1 million in 3, whatever it is, both those are arbitrary numbers and don't really help with anyone who's trying to give you sort of advice on how to structure it. But I feel like from talking to you before, from like some businesses, like you want to get some kind of business, some kind of operation up and running that's going to generate wealth for you. And hopefully in the medium to longer term, you can be more hands-off and it can sort of be less like, you know, automatic kind of generation is the thing that you seem sort of interested and excited about, whatever it may be. So that's my kind of rant, and I'll let some other people contribute.
I would tell you that the day I became a millionaire is that I felt really poor. I felt poorer the day I became a millionaire than I did before then. And it's just, again, because my perspective was out of whack. And now I feel money is just a currency. It's just like something that you use to like navigate life and to help people and have more of an impact. So like money changes. When I was 28 years old, I thought the same exact way, man. How am I going to make this? How am I going to do this? What can I get? And now that I've had some of that, I've flipped it around and said, what can I give? And somehow like it just circles. It's like an economy. It's just like it's in your own personal economy, because I have an uncle that's got like, I don't know, he's $5-6 million. He's never made more than 100 grand a year in his life because he just saves every single penny, and he's miserable. He like still works. He's like 78. He's like 78 years old. He still works. You know, he grew up, I feel like his parents grew up in the Depression area. You know, they didn't have a lot of food and stuff like that. And so he just always like hoarded, and like, it's just, I don't know. So like money's, we all grew up with like interesting views of money. And I feel like it's really like limited our lives and our beliefs. And once you start, you're in the right spot, buddy, because you're going to hear from 15 of us, and we all have different crazy stories. And I saw Darby just put in a cool story. We'd love to hear your story, Darby.
Yeah, so I worked at the Silicon Valley company, Tell Me Networks, and had stock options, yada, yada, bought real estate in Northern California in 2000, got through that first recession. I was married at the time. We had a couple of pieces of real estate. I bought this loft in LA, and I had like, I don't know, enough cash in the bank and my real estate holdings to easily, it was over $1 million. But then the recession hit and everything dropped. I got downsized. Within like a 3-month period, I had to rent my place. I moved back to Salt Lake. My income would drop by about 70%. And then it just went downhill during the recession for about a year. And no more millionaire dreams for me. But I also learned that that's not what matters, right? And for me, I have my family. I've got a huge, awesome family, big, crazy family that helped me get through that period. And I was like, what do I want to be doing with my life? Like, I was doing voiceover 4 or 5 times a week, and that went down to 1 or 2 times a week. That's when I decided to go back to school to try and reevaluate what I want to do in life. And a big reason why I was doing the voiceover was because when we built Tell Me, we changed the way people talk to machines, really. We're part of that movement, right? Voiceover IP and speech interaction. This was before Alexa, Siri, and all that. So I focused on that. Like, I love that we had changed the world. Some might say we automated things that not for the better, but I think we changed the world for the better. So that's kind of what led me to where I am now. And I'm honestly still digging out of that hole of losing my place in LA. And I will also say that the dream of like being a millionaire and having a really nice place, I bought this awesome loft in the arts district in downtown Los Angeles. Like, I overspent. That's my problem. That was my fault. I shouldn't have spent so much. I could have just had my rent controlled apartment and kept living in Hollywood, but live and learn, right? And now I have just like a 1,000 square foot condo. I love downtown life. So I'm in downtown Salt Lake City, 1,000 square foot condo. I'm definitely like managing and learning from that lesson. I'd love to have $1 million, but like what Manny was saying, what does that mean for me? And Emil was saying too, like I love flying first class, but if I'm flying first class, it means I'm getting free upgrades because I'm working and flying enough for work. I'm not going to spend full price for a first class ticket. I don't know, maybe I do want that kind of money. I don't know. But yeah, I lost it all pretty much. And then I'm building it back up, but I'm building it back up to give instead of for the money, and also to enjoy my day-to-day life and keep myself happy, use the gifts I've been given on this planet for this one time I'm here, and give back to humanity. That's my story. Yeah.
That's an amazing story. And I will say
Thanks for sharing.
I will say another thing about money. A lot of times when we were younger, we buy stuff to make us happy.
That's it.
As we get older, I would strongly encourage everyone to invest in experiences, kind of like what we're doing here, right? This is an experience, right? We all spend a lot of money, right, for these experiences. And yeah, we're going to get to go and talk to Gary for an hour, and that's all good. But this experience in here, just what we're sharing here, is way more valuable. Way more valuable. I wish somebody when I was 28 I could have got in a room full of these people. I swear to God, I would change places. The only thing I wouldn't give up is my son. Other than that, I would literally give up everything. I had to be you right now with Gary. Every single thing.
I'll give up those kids too for a few weeks at least anyway.
There's something for my story. I just wanted, because you're talking about kids. So as a kid, we were raised pretty poor, so I've been buying my own clothes since I was like 12, like helping, cook my dinner. My parents both had 1 or 2 jobs all the time. But as a kid, it's like the haves and the have-nots, right? And if you grew up in that environment, at least for me, looking back, and I'm just realizing this as we're talking, my favorite times in childhood were just like going to my neighborhood friends. I played softball with my 4th grade friend. Her dad was the coach. She just moved to Orlando and I'm going to go visit her. I'm still friends with her. Like those are some of my favorite memories of childhood. We were called the No Names. If you remember the No Name food brand, we were totally the Rugrats. We were not the rich kids and we didn't play that well, but we had so much fun playing softball. So it's instilled early in kids, this idea of having not, and I've got tons of nieces and nephews. Some have money, some don't, and I can see it in them too. Like our culture creates this ideology where money will fix things at a really young age. So I'm glad you guys are talking about your kids, and family and connections and relationships are more important than money.
Go ahead.
No, bro, it's about you. Go ahead.
So that's pretty much why I'm in this like little personal development like journey, because just growing up just growing up as an Asian, right? Like my parents, we didn't really have a lot of money growing up, and they told me to just save my money like the whole time I was growing up, right? But I never asked why. Actually, just growing up, you weren't allowed to really ask why for certain things. So I grew up this whole time thinking like, okay, like the same principle in my head, like just save money, right? But as I grew up, started, trying to remap my like financial blueprint, right? I learned like, hey, you can't save enough to you can't save your way to a millionaire, right? You have to put your money to work, you have to invest in whatever, right? And that's why I'm on this journey, because I just want to change, my generation's wealth. I want to change the trajectory of where my family's path has been going like this whole time. So.
Dude, so it sounds to me like I think like Darby said, like Ben said, like a lot of us, and like you're saying, save. That's fear-based, right? I got to save because I'm scared that at some point I won't have enough, right? And so when you start doing anything out of fear, you're gonna at some point have to face the fear, right? And if you're making money to make money, that means money's making you, right? Like you make money. Money doesn't make you, right? Like, and if you're just trying to go like, oh, I got to make money because I got to make money because I got to make sure I always have money, well, your life is going to be like chasing something, right? And life's a journey, bro. It's not like a destination. Like once you get to that destination, you're going to be like, well, what's next, right? And so if you have a goal and you say, I want to do this thing, well, money can become the consequence of your money should be the consequence of your actions. You know, for me, I wanted to help people, right? So I volunteered at a soup kitchen for 5 years. And, you know, when I wanted to help people in a different way, like I wanted to, you know, be more active in it, the opportunities came to me to have a contract to get funded to help people. I have 19 homeless shelters now, right? And like, I've made millions of dollars. I fucked up millions of dollars before that. Like I made more millions and fucked up more millions before I made the money that sustains me now. And it sustains me because, you know, it's my life. Like a big part of my life is I like helping people. So I help people, and then I find out how I can get money while I'm helping people. Like I figure out how to support myself and support others with, like, you know, with my passion. Like, and that's really what it's about. Like, again, like if you say like, oh, I need money, a lot of times, again, it's a fear thing, right? If I don't have money, then I'm gonna feel like this. If I don't have money, then I'll be like that, right? But like, you gotta just be cool in yourself and happy in yourself and know 100% that nothing outside of you ever is going to make you feel whole and happy inside of yourself unless you're being the authentic version of who you are and live in that role. When you live in who you are authentically and just be that, money becomes a consequence of your actions. It comes to you. You'll get what you need because you're doing what you're supposed to do. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah, like I said, like I just haven't found that path yet. The path that you're exactly right. I'm just chasing money.
Right.
It's for completely selfish things. I don't have like a passion for like helping the world or anything. Really, my thing is like, I just want to buy my mom a house in Cali, move her back from the Philippines to Cali, and get my brother out of the Philippines. Like that's like my
small goal. That's all you need right now.
That's legit.
That's a goal.
Dude,
that's really good. I think that's totally selfless. I think you're being good, and you don't have kids or anyone relying on you. I think you're doing just fine, and you'll find your path.
Dude, why don't you figure out how to get people out of the country, period? Like come up with some kind of work visa solution or something like that, right? And so, you know, if that's your focus on bringing people out of the Philippines and into the United States, like focus on that, right? But like, it doesn't have to be even like we're saying, like, it doesn't have to be this great thing you're doing, or, you know, like if you like to break sticks and take pictures of the shards of sticks after they break, like if that's the thing that you're passionate about, I promise when you're hyper engaged and focused in that, like the rest of the things that you need to survive in life and to like live a fulfilled life, like feel joyful, like that's gonna just come to you, right? So like, I think I just think your focus is on the wrong thing, right? Like I always have found that money that stays with me and that's mine is a consequence of my actions, and money that's not, and everything that's not, it's fleeting in my life. Like it's not for, if it's not for me, it's not for me. If I force it, it'll fall at some point. And the more I force in my life, like the harder my life gets. Like acquiring money in the wrong way, there's a cost to that. The cost is your time, and you don't get any of that back. Like every second that you waste thinking about how am I going to get this, or how am I going to do this because I want this thing, you're pulling yourself away from, you know, really figuring out what makes you smile in every fucking moment of the day, right? When you figure out what makes me smile in every fucking moment of the day, you just start doing that. You're fucking smiling every moment of the day. I don't care how much money you got. It doesn't matter because you're smiling, you're cool, you know? And then life just comes to you. It all comes to you. You'll feel like a fucking millionaire. You can have $20 in your pocket. But if you're walking around skipping, fucking singing Skip to My Lou, right? That's what you want to do. Like, you're cool, right? You don't need it. Like we take all this stuff from our parents, from the media, from like all these people, and we're like, this is what I have to do. It puts you in a box, dude. Like it puts us all in a box. We feel like we have to live a certain way. We have to have certain things. We have to, we don't have to do shit. You don't have to do a thing, right? You have to wake up in the morning and be grateful that, you know, you're alive. Like, I think that's the first thing, right? I took a breath. I'm alive. I'm grateful, right? Oh my God, I'm alive. I smiled. Like, I'm smiling. Like, look at what we're doing here. You know, oh, I'm in this room with these hawks. Like, this is the journey. This is your life. Life's a journey. You get to the end of it, it's done. Like, that's it. You get to the end of anything that you're doing or any journey, it's like when Benny said, he's like, you know, something about being, you know, when I became a millionaire, I felt poor or something like that, right? It's like, oh, I got there. Fucking now what, right? Exactly. You get there. If you get there and now I'm there, and what the fuck do? I got there by doing a bunch of shit I don't like. You know,
if it's for the wrong reasons, it's empty, man. I'll tell you.
One thing I've
never been as happier in my life as I am right now. And in January, I lost like $200,000, and I thought, like, if I was, my happiness was based on money, dude, I'd be depressed. I'd be down the dumps. I'd be like miserable. But no, I'm as happy as I've ever been. Yeah, was it a rough month in business? Absolutely. But like, guess what? Like, that doesn't define me anymore. What defines me is the journey that Ant just talked about. And like, for you, your journey is like, that's an awesome goal, man. If that's your goal, to get your mom from the Philippines to California, like, dude, that is an awesome goal that like anybody can get behind, and just break that milestone down into a couple little markers along the way. Figure out how to get there, start talking about it, start talking to your family about it, start talking to your friends about us, keep talking to us about it. And eventually, like, your actions will, everything that you do in life will be because of that. Then guess what? Once you hit that goal and you see that success, you're going to have that win under your belt. And guess what? Whatever that next goal is, you're gonna have confidence knowing that you've already went from like not having any plans or any goals and not having a purpose in life to like, oh wow, look what I did for mom. Cool. Like, now here's what I'm gonna do. Whatever that is, you're gonna be able to crush it.
It's an intent. It's an intention. If you set the intention to do this thing, like that's what your intent on. That's what you do. That's what you focus on, right? If your intention is to avoid fear, the only thing you're thinking about is fear. You're not thinking about the solution around the thing you fear. You're just thinking about the fear. And that's when you manifest the fear in your life, when the only thing you can think about is the shit you're scared of, right? I need money. I gotta have money. I gotta have money. You know, people sell themselves for sex to make money and make millions of dollars, right? It's what Betty said. It's fucking empty, dude. If you don't make it in a way that's authentic to you, it's empty when you get there, because there's nothing past that. But like you said, set your intention to, yo, I want to get my mom out of the Philippines. I want to get my brother out of the Philippines, right? I want to get them out of the Philippines. What are some of the things I can start to do to get them out of here? Hey, maybe I can fly them up for a little bit more, 1%. I could fly them up or get them here and have them stay here 1% more, 5% more this month than I did last month, right? And maybe it's something like that, where it's small incremental builds. And you're like, well, I just had to do this, this, and this to get them to stay here, this, and this. Oh, and by the way, because I'm doing it so much, I figured out this little way that's a little cheaper. I figured out this other way that that makes the transition easier. Oh, by the way, now I package that, and other people that have the same interest as me and the same intent as me, as to get family members from the Philippines, they can follow my model. Now the model that I have that helped me get the thing I want helps other people get the thing they want, and I make money off of that, right? But like, that's how it works, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I can't say one. So this, I wasn't gonna say this one too, but a side thing that I started was, again, since I'm on my journey and I'm breaking my financial blueprint that I got from my parents growing up in an Asian household. I was actually thinking, like, I'm probably not the only one that got ingrained these, you know, these habits. So I'm also a streamer, right? A lot of the audience that I had were some Filipinos as well. And I started teaching them, like, just shit that I learned. And I got a lot of people out of debt, even though it's in pesos and whatever, right? But it's just like a group. I meet with a group of like 20, 30 people, and I just teach them small shit. But I had to reel back on that because of the whole not financial advice. I had to reel back and like figure out what I can say and what I can't say in terms of like financial advice stuff. But that's what I started doing. And
if you're helping people, don't limit yourself.
Yeah, you taking their money? If you're taking their money, you might, you know, there's some type of-
No. I'm saying it's like a free thing.
It don't matter then.
I just taught them what I learned basically, and like pretty much what they resonated with was, since I'm Filipino, like a lot of the shit I complained about, like they said that they were learning that as well. Like, just pretty much save all your money. But the one thing that I learned was like saving keeps you in a trap, you know. And yeah, it just helped a lot of people pay off student loans and just loans on their houses, loans on their cars. Pretty much all the small little finance basics that I learned that helped me get to where I am right now. Because I was like, look, I'm trying to be a millionaire. I'm not one yet, but I can teach like how I got to where I am right now, and that's pretty much.
When you say you're trying to be a millionaire, you're trying to achieve a status that you think, right? Like you think that if you're a millionaire, you can do things that you can't do now, right? Like,
yes.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
I don't mean an actual, like from what Emil said earlier. Like, I'm trying to get millionaire status, like
financial wealth,
financial
and
freedom. Yeah.
Financial freedom.
Yeah.
It all depends on how much money you spend, if that's free or not.
But like Legend, like I'm also like, I grew up in an Asian household, so I know how you feel. But like, I kind of am there now where I think if I sold everything I had, I would probably be worth $1 million. But it doesn't really mean anything, because now at the end of the day, like, if you don't have that like kind of energy to convince people of like who you are, you're really like nothing at the end of the day. And I feel like that's where I'm struggling, right? Like, because I save most of my money, but then I take calculated risk with investing and stuff. You know, like out of everybody here, I probably deserve to be in VeeFriends, because, you know, I wasn't following Gary. I got in here by accident because I saw him on TV, and, you know, I just recognized him, and I was hoping that like he can, like, you know, help me with my business idea. And I think like I'm struggling with that, you know, a little bit that like imposter syndrome, where like I don't really deserve this, because a lot of this is just luck. I just happen to be in like the right place at the right time. And I think like you really have to ask yourself, like, yes, you want to help your family, you want to do all that stuff, but like figure out really what that is, right? Like figure out your parents really want to come to the Philippines, from the Philippines to the US, And honestly, you should be probably close enough to help them be able to do that, because like, you know, your gift goat and the Hangout Hawk should be worth more than like a couple $100,000, which most of the people in this world don't even have close to that. So like, you know, like again, everybody's saying it's a status thing, but then like once you hit that status, it doesn't really mean anything, because you know, if you don't have the people around you that have your back and like care about you, like honestly, that doesn't mean shit.
So I have like, I get what you guys are saying, like take incremental steps and stuff. I guess I'll just look too far into the future. Like, so the age gap between, fun fact about me, the age gap between me and my siblings is like 20 years, right? I'm an oops. I wasn't supposed to happen, pretty much. I popped up on my parents, right?
No, you're supposed to be here, bro. You're on purpose.
So,
shit, dude.
So,
stop telling yourself that.
Though, my brother, one of my brothers in the Philippines, he like never made it out the Philippines until I grew up and started making money, and I was actually the first one out of my siblings to bring him out of the Philippines. I bought them a trip to like Singapore or something. Like he didn't need a visa to go over there, so like that was my first step, and that's why my second step is like more a permanent solution. So
where you live at now, Gary?
I'm in Micronesia.
Where's that at?
Middle of no, that's why I describe it as middle of nowhere in the Pacific.
Like, is it like close to like Fiji?
It's like around Japan and Australia.
It's like those little islands in between, like near Indonesia, right?
It's like the little arrow that points to the island is bigger than the islands. Like I mean,
well, how do we all come and visit? Let's have a hawk party at your island, man. That sounds like it'd be a baller.
But what is your goal now? Like, you know, are you just hoping to become like a successful streamer, or like, is it just anything to be this millionaire?
Honestly, I just got into this area. Like, since the main goal of my umbrella is to just be a millionaire or like wealth, right? So I'm just looking through all different avenues of making money. And yeah, content creation is also...
Like, what do you like though? Like, you know, that makes you happy besides just like money?
Can you repeat that again?
What do you like besides money? Like, you know, like there has to be something you're passionate about that you can, you know, have that be your calling to translate into it. Like, is it just, you know, you want the money for the money's sake, or you just want to be like a baller? Like, what is the kind of objective?
Yeah, honestly, it's just, again, might seem super shallow, but I just feel like in order to do certain things in my life, I need money.
Like, what are those things? That's what he's asking. Like, what are you gonna do with the money?
Well, I said it. Get my mom a house in Cali, which is super expensive, and get my brother out of the Philippines, no matter whatever visa I need.
Like, right honestly, now, if you sold your gift goat and your hawk, I'm not saying to do it, right? You have enough money to probably buy, not in Cali, maybe get in like Ohio or something. Like, does it have to be Cali specific? You can like.
Well, that's where other family is, so like.
So,
yeah.
So I think we're talking about,
right? Like, you gotta
I
come up
think
with what it looks like.
Yeah, no. So I think we don't like. It's not. You know, was like, you know, not too long, like not too many years ago. In like, I think we all kind of were in his shoes. Like, I'm an Iraqi immigrated to Australia, and so I was a Christian minority in Australia. Then I was a minority immigrant. That's right. I was a Christian minority in Iraq. We immigrated when I was 3 to Australia, and I was an immigrant minority in Australia. And now I'm an immigrant in Japan, basically a foreign minority in Japan. So all my life has been a minority sort of 3 times. And so I definitely get that aspect of it. You just need, I think what he's at is financial security is kind of, it's not like he said millionaire before, but it feels like just financial comfort. Financial security, not really to be a massive baller and private jet everywhere. That's a nice idea, but just have a certain, like, to be able to say, oh, like, you know, even myself, I'm going to VCon, and I can just go. I can afford to go there. My kids, we got a family trip to Australia. Great, all 5 of us can jump on a plane. To not have to be a financial struggle that we need to plan, 2 years ahead for a family trip. Is that, I think, even just that, when you say you want to be a millionaire, it's like you want to have that kind of comfort that you can kind of do as you please within reason without the financial stress of it. And I think what, because I was chatting to Legend before. So Legend, your name is Nick. Was it Nick? Is your name, yeah? Yeah. I think, yeah. So yeah. I asked you before because it's got Gary and like the Legend of Gary.
You can bring that down.
Yeah.
Nick.
So, but I think that's where he's sort of at. Like, so now it's rather not what his purpose is, but okay, what are the opportunities for what he's suited at that he can kind of monetize or turn into sort of wealth. And I also feel like my journey, I sort of got into real estate transition similar to what Nick was doing. Was he was helping people and giving them sort of advice, and I was doing that as well. Like, I bought a house and I learned how to buy a house. I did all that property in Japan myself, and then I started doing seminars, a foreigner's guide to buying a house in Japan, with a real estate agent, and sort of shuffling over sort of referrals to him. But they weren't doing the closings very well with those agents. So I started to be more involved. And that's how I got into the business. But it was initially through helping people. And I found the way to sort of monetize that, like the combination of helping people in my niche foreigners in Japan network. And I think we're talking to him a lot, to Nick, about how he can, how he should approach the idea of being wealthy, and like quite a holistic view, where I think overall seems like he's a good guy, and he's not, rather than that talk, maybe something a bit more practical of some options and real business sort of strategy of, okay, like I've got myself online sales sort of experience. I used to do like, maybe a few $1,000s a month worth of stuff on Yahoo auctions, equivalent of eBay in Japan, sort of drop shipping kind of stuff. And I've got my hands dirty with that, and a whole bunch of bits and pieces. So I think maybe now, and Nick can correct me if I'm kind of wrong, but I think the stage you're at now, what you're looking at more so is what you can do to kind of start making, what you can monetize. And you just want to get that financial level up a bit, rather than go from here to baller. What are kind of some next steps to be more just financially secure, such that you can take your family on trips? You can maybe down the line buy a property, or at least, that's something several years down the track, quite far away, before you're not going to spend all your cash on that now. You sell all your assets now, you might be able to do that, but that's not really a good strategy. So I think we spent the past like 25 minutes telling how don't focus just on money and, like the whole feel good aspect of it, but maybe something also practical, and looking at, well, what are you looking at now? And what are your thoughts now on kind of monetizing, and what have you been doing? Because also my journey into VeeFriends, like basically 2 months ago, the first thing I did was Google and YouTube VeeFriends, like YouTube, like VeeFriends, initial mints, prices, all that sort of stuff. Hangout Hawk, because I was looking at this one, and Dick's video was he was the first person I saw doing a video on VeeFriends. So I saw it going like, oh wow, this guy's like, he's actually quite personable and quite open and honest about all of that stuff. So when you're saying you also do the financial things, although that's not something you really seem to maybe have focused on or monetized yet, it's like, okay, that's a kind of community and a kind of network that you have already shown a genuine kind of connection with. So that's something maybe we can expand on in terms of discussion of opportunities. But I don't know, do you want to talk more about holistic kind of approach to life and money, or real sort of practical conversion of monetization options in like, online right now? Sorry, that was my little rant again.
Okay, so
No worries.
the email has been sent for the call. I don't remember if we can chat in there.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm gonna see you guys on the call, all right?
Yeah, that sounds like a little fiber in there.
Yes.
Over there. Call. How sad is that? So I gave mine away because I had a flight, and then my flight got canceled. So now I'm just gonna be out on the call.
Oh.
Hey, no, hey.
You're not going to be it because you gave it away.
Yeah, I did
give away?
give away, saying I'll just give it away because I have a flight at that time. And then my flight got canceled, so I gave it to a random Twitter stranger.
Oh, your Hangout?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So you're not going to your own Hangout?
I know. Well, I mean, it would be wrong for me to share the call with someone and still join, right? So I'm gonna say
it
it out
last time that you could do that because you also did that last time.
Well, last time I gave one. I have two Hangout calls. So this time I gave both away. So
I'm
now
pretty sure last time he said it was cool anyway.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
honestly, if you popped up in the background, like, you know, it's not.
Yeah, but listen, if I have 2 tokens and now there's 3 people joining and Gary think it's cool, then why not 4? And then where do you draw a line? And I'm not gonna be that guy to take that integrity away from the token, right? Like if 3 is cool, then 4 should be okay as well. And if 4 is cool, why not? Like, you know, where do you draw a line? So for me, the line is 1 token is 1 person. So I'm gonna be sitting out and hopefully get to see some clips or whatever, right?
They upload it afterwards, so you definitely see it. You just won't be able to see it live pretty much.
Yeah. All good.
I'm gonna go get some food before this starts, so I'm not eating a sandwich in front of Gary. Right.
Yeah, I'm going to hop off. And
I'll see you guys.
see you over there.
All right, bye.
In a bit.
I personally am so grateful for you listening to this episode of the Hawk Flawk. If anything resonated with you, please leave a comment and let us know. We'd love to spread the useful parts of this video to help as many as possible. And if you'd be so kind to like and subscribe on all the channels you are hearing this or watching this on, I'll say thank you again, for real. From one hawk to another, Ka.